Welcome to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Now here along with Dr. Bonati, your host, Kimberly Brummel.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us this Saturday for American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brummel, joined by executive producer of AM Tampa Bay, Ethan Euchre.
Good afternoon, everybody.
We have our enjoyable senior fellow, Jeff Wagstaff.
I don't enjoy him that much.
I'm very enjoyable, Ethan. Good afternoon.
That's not the word on the street.
And across from me, we have world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine Institute. Thank you for being here, sir.
Good afternoon.
Now, we talk about advanced minimally invasive laser spine surgery and how it began with Bonati, and it still continues to lead the way. The road to recovery is paved with the name Bonati and the Bonati spine procedures. Many of the patients that we have helped have undergone previous failed back surgeries from other facilities. And the thing that's different with us is that we offer hope. Our recent research reflects that our patient-reported success rate is at 98.75% immediate relief. And Bonati definitely succeeds where others have failed, so you want to make the right decision the first time. Contact the Bonati Spine Institute. And with that said, on today's show, we'll have X Prize winner, neurosurgeon, and biomedical engineer, Dr. Eric Leuthart. He's author of Red Devil 4, and he's done a lot of research on brain-computer interfaces.
I'm excited to talk to this guy. This looks really cool.
It's got to be amazing.
Very futuristic.
Totally state-of-the-art and futuristic.
Yeah, and apparently he melds like the human brain with machines, and it
Yes.
allows stroke victims to use limbs that they weren't using before, all through thought. It's pretty crazy,
Unbelievable.
futuristic stuff.
Knowing the internal thoughts.
He'll be the $5 billion man.
Oh, my.
Probably. Yeah.
And we also have Dr. Jill O'Donnell Tormey, and she's going to be discussing the breakthrough of the year for cancer patients. Now, with that being said, up first in our Back to Life segment, we have patient Fred Hodge on the phone. Thank you for speaking us today, Fred.
Hi.
Hi, you are owner of Home Design in Tampa, and you're a patient of the Bonati Spine Institute. Why don't you kind of walk us through what led you to the Bonati Spine Institute?
Yeah, I had a lower back problem for several months, and I was dealing with going to chiropractor. And I went to acupuncture. I did a lot of stretching and a lot of yoga. I did everything I could do, but it didn't help me at all. And after I got my MRI and went to Dr. Bonati, I find out I have to have 2 surgery on my lumbar 4 and 5 and L5 and S1. I had those 2 surgery. It was very easy for me, actually. And I was worried about it at the beginning, but after the surgery, the result was very good, and I'm just very happy what I have done so far.
Well, Fred, why don't you back up just a tad? Why don't you tell us kind of the symptoms that you were going through that led you to seek out treatment?
Yeah, was there a specific incident, Fred, that led to your pain, or how did you first experience
the pain
it?
was in my lower back, and sometimes it shoot through my hip and moved on through my legs. And that I couldn't stand up on my feet for longer hours. And in my business, I did a lot of traveling. I had to go overseas. I couldn't sit in the plane for several hours. I couldn't stand on my feet. And
Was this affecting your job?
definitely, because when you're on the pain and you can't even think good, and just you can't function well. And especially my work was it's a lot of stress. I had to run a lot and just to think, importing a lot of things.
It's safe.
I had a lot of stress, and with the pain I had, I couldn't really function good. And I decided to go for that surgery, and that was a key, really, answer to all my problems.
So, Fred, did you go to see anyone else prior to consulting with Dr. Bonati?
Actually, as far as the surgeon, nobody. I researched a lot before I just go for surgery. I was reading through the internet and researching a lot. Because, your back is very important, really. You don't want to give it to anybody's hand. Just they have operation on your back. And after the researching, I find that Dr. Alfred Bonati is really talented, and he is the expert. And I decided to do that, and I went for the surgery.
By the sounds of things, you're back to partying, Fred, because there's a ton of music going on in the background there.
Oh, it's me.
Aw.
No, that's all good. So walk us through the procedure, your initial consultation with Dr. Bonati at the Bonati Spine Institute, right up through the actual procedure and how that went for you.
Can you speak up a little bit? I'm sorry. It's just I can't hear you very
That's
well.
okay. Fred, he was asking you to kind of walk through that initial consultation with Dr. Bonati and then kind of the surgery process.
The process very good. When I got the MRI, Dr. Bonati just took me through the whole thing, and he showed me where's the problem on my lumbar 4 and 5 left side, and he told me, and L5 and S1, you have problem because the pain is shoots goes through your legs, and he said you got to have 2 surgery. And I had those 2 surgery, and the result was very good. Really, I'm very happy what I have done so far.
So the procedure itself, though, is what I always find interesting. You were semi-conscious, correct? Were you able to kind of do a back and forth with the doctor, communicate with him as far as pinpointing the pain?
Doctor was talking to me through the surgery, and I could even see the surgery. And I just was talking to them. He was talking to me. And it was really easy. I mean, to me, it was very easy surgery because I had a big nightmare at the beginning what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But at the end, when I did it, it was just so easy, and the result is phenomenal.
So you were watching the procedure. Did that kind of weird you out at all? I can't imagine lying there watching that happen, a doctor working on my open back. Although it's minimally invasive, it's still got to be a little weird. Was it weird for you at all?
It wasn't weird at all, really, because the pain I was going through, I wanted to do something to be fixed. And it was fascinating for me to see exactly what is he doing there. And I saw the whole thing, I was awake, and I was watching the whole thing, and he was talking to me during the operation.
When you were going through all the pain, did it limit your activities, maybe with your family?
Definitely it did, because I was very active. I played soccer for so many years, mm-hmm. and I was active. I used to wake up, even when I go to work right now, I wake up early in the morning, do my exercise before I go to work, because mm-hmm. it pumped me up.
Yes.
And I couldn't do any exercise. I couldn't really stretch that much. I couldn't do too much.
Did it make you slightly depressed?
I'm sorry?
Did it make you slightly depressed when you were going through all that you weren't able to function?
Definitely. If you are in pain, like almost from 24 hours, 23 hours in pain, you cannot even think, and you just you get load of the depression. You think, oh, what can I do? Because I was young, and I couldn't sit down and just don't walk and don't do anything. Now I'm doing everything.
Now, in your job, are you as well lifting?
It's actually, I own the company. I don't have to do too much lifting, but when it comes to time, definitely I do the lifting too, mm-hmm. and it doesn't bother me. I'm good. I watch myself. I don't try to just overdo it, but
right.
It's not bothering me. I'm fixed.
Once you had the surgery, how quickly was it until you were kind of feeling back to normal? How did you feel relief?
Yes, it took me around like a couple of weeks. I feel a lot better. After a month, it was just really completely. I was just like, it seemed like nothing happened to me. I was fixed. But it takes a couple of weeks, just those. It's not that bad. After the day of surgery, I could go back to work. You cannot stay home. We don't want to stay home because you want to be active and walking. Mm-hmm. I didn't have that much pain. Just a little bit of the stitches, pain, and that's normal. If you cut your finger, you're going to have a little bit of pain for just a few hours or a few days.
Fred, would you find referring friends and family after what you've been through at the Bonati Institute, would you be comfortable referring other people to see Dr. Bonati as well?
Definitely I do, and I did already. And I sent a couple of my relatives over there and a few friends because they want to see what's the result on me. They just get more confident. Become more confident, and they did just offer. I really want to just tell people, if they are listening to me, if you have a pain, and just don't afraid, go and do it, and the result is going to be like, for me it was 100%, but I know the result is going to be like for a lot of people, more than 95% or 98%. For me, it was 100%. I really advise everybody who wants to, they have pain, mostly in the lower back, because when you have a pain in lower back, it just stops you from doing a lot of things.
Brutal.
And I really just tell people they have problem, they should do this.
Fred, before we started the show today, Kimberly was telling us a little bit about your procedures and what had happened. And we talked to Dr. Bonatti's patients from all over the country, but you live here in our home market and listen to our flagship station, 970 WFLA. Understand that you own a furniture store here in town that has beautiful furnishings. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about that while you're on the air?
Thank you. Yeah, I have the largest furniture showroom in Tampa Bay area. I import a lot of furniture from all over the world, American furniture, European furniture, high-end, but the good thing here, you buy everything here at the wholesale price. You buy high-end product at the wholesale price. If you want to try it, you come down here, personally ask for me, and we have a lot of salespeople, but ask for me. I would like to give you a tour and show you what we have, and I save you. I 100% tell you, I save you a lot of money.
Hey, Fred, listen, as somebody who just bought a brand new condo over in Ybor City, I could use the hookup. So give me the American Medicine Today hookup, please, at Home Design in Tampa.
Definitely.
I'm just kidding. All right, Fred, well, we appreciate you
Thank
joining
you.
us. Continued pain-free living, my friend.
Thank you. I want to say at this point, thank you, Dr. Bonatti, for all the things you have done for me. God bless you.
Thank you, Fred.
Aw.
All right, nicely
Thanks for joining
done.
us, Fred.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh,
I
didn't mean to cut
he didn't mean to
him
cut you
off.
off. Sorry,
Fred. No discount for me.
Full
But
retail for
it's-
even.
You know, again, it's another patient that just talks about how there was hope and how they were able to resolve their pain. So if you are
Fantastic.
listening and you're suffering from headaches, back, neck, leg, sciatic pain, you don't have to live life on the sidelines. You can give the Bonatti Spine Institute a call at 855-267-0482 or visit Bonatti.com. After the break, we'll hear more from Dr. Bonatti about what's new in American medicine today.
No, we won't.
Spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail. The Bonatti Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at Bonatti.com.
All my pain is gone. Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible.
It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful.
I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Welcome to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonatti Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonatti spine procedures, Alfred Bonatti, MD. Now here along with Dr. Bonatti, your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for joining us for American Medicine Today, brought to you by the Bonatti Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Brumell, alongside world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonatti, Ethan Euchre, and our... How do we say it? Senior fellow? Jeff Wagstaff.
I just like how that sounds.
I know you do. You're the only one, though. None of us like calling you that.
Oh, come on.
He's rocking it.
He is.
If my grandmother were still alive, she would be so proud that I had become a senior fellow at the Bonatti Institute.
Even though it's a purely fictional title that you bestowed upon yourself and means nothing.
Well, if you put it that way.
Ouch.
That was a burn.
Did somebody wake up on the wrong side of the bed today?
I'm good. Let's do this.
Well, we have guest Dr. Luth Hart on the line, and he is one of the most prolific inventors with 800 patents either existing or granted. He is on the show. Now, he has the most incredible technologies, aren't they? Like brain.
Well, first of all, he's a neurosurgeon, which already is pretty impressive. He's a biomedical engineer. He's an X Prize winner. He has a bunch of patents out there. He's an inventor. He's an author
of Red Devil 4,
which is kind of why he's on here. Is Red Devil 4? Yeah. You can get it on Amazon, anywhere else. But the reason we're talking to him is sort of the collision of medicine and technology.
Unbelievable.
And we got him on the phone. Dr. Luth Hart, how are you this afternoon?
Doing great.
So tell us a little bit about Red Devil 4, the premise, before we get into the whole brain-machine interface. It's pretty cool stuff.
Absolutely. So the book really imagines a near-term future, around 40 years from now, when brain implants such as brain chips, brain-computer interfaces, are essentially as common as cell phones and laptops today, where essentially all of our technology is now just a small chip that's the size of a thimble implanted into our head. And in that world, there's a series of really brutal murders that happens, and they all happen to be patients of a prominent neurosurgeon. And he's got to figure out very quickly what's happening to these patients so that he can prevent essentially more of these type of murders from happening. Because essentially these patients are these are prominent people in society who start doing very bad things, and in sense they're essentially getting taken over, and their brains are getting hacked to do very malicious things. And so it really, and to do that, he's also really has to put some of his life's work on the line, which is some of the artificial intelligence that he's developing at that time.
Now, I'm reading here, Dr. Luth Hart, that you're a pioneer in developing brain-computer interfaces. So you've already done this yourself in reality?
That's right. So I have an engineering lab, and we're really working on creating brain-computer interfaces to restore function to people with spinal cord injury, in stroke. We have a clinical trial right now where patients who have paralyzed hands, for instance, due to a stroke, can put on a head cap, and in about 30 minutes we can decode their intentions to move their paralyzed hand.
Wow.
And use that to allow them to control an external orthotic that they wear. So literally they can have a paralyzed hand for years. They put on this robotic exoskeleton. They think about moving their paralyzed hand, and it moves the way they'd want it to.
That's incredible.
That's unbelievable. Now, so basically you have invented kind of a machine that'll read your thoughts. I don't know if that's something that we actually want. I don't even want
to. Well, we have, and we've done it for motor movements. We can know, which fingers you want to move, what direction you want to move, your arm or hand. We were the first in my lab to develop a speech brain-computer interface. So we were starting to break down the different components of how you form words in your mind. And so again, we're early into that, but certainly the notion of decoding either your actual words as you're saying them or your imagined words is completely possible right now.
This is just amazing, because wasn't there a movie years ago that somebody gets put in jail because of their thoughts, yet they hadn't acted on them, they had just
Minority Report?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. So I mean, what I'm thinking along the terms of using these things to create like a super soldier. When I first read this, I thought, I bet if you could meld man with machine, that would make the ultimate soldier. Are there any military applications for this technology?
Well, there certainly are, and really the whole world changes, quite honestly, once the brain becomes accessible, when you can decode your thoughts, right? Because whether it be to connect you to machines to make you stronger, faster, more dangerous, more lethal, or you can even really take it one step further. Is maybe you've got the super trained Navy SEAL, and kind of just like they're flying drones today, they're just controlling a robot 1,000 miles away that has the instincts and the reflexes. But essentially the disposable body to fight a war without any harm to the actual soldier.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
Are there any applications that could help people who are either paralyzed from birth or who are in accidents, where maybe that gives them the ability to function or to walk again?
Absolutely. So we actually published this a while in the journal called Pediatrics, where we really showed that kids could use brain-computer interfaces. And we actually did it with the intention of helping kids with cerebral palsy. And we looked at very specific signals where a lot of times kids with certain types of cerebral palsy, only one side of their body is affected. And we looked at kind of the healthy brain to see if there were still motor intentions related to the affected limb. And similar, just like we saw in stroke, we saw it in cerebral palsy as well. So one could envision using these to restore function in children.
That's amazing. So I just can't help but think that technology like this, especially if it fell into the wrong hands,
could be very dangerous.
Could be something that's a very frightening future. How do we protect ourselves from this technology?
Yeah, no, and that's a good point. And really, in my book, Red Devil 4, I wanted to paint the good, the bad, and the ugly, in the sense that, you're absolutely right that with great science, I think that you have great promise for things to, again, fix stroke, fix cerebral palsy, treat Alzheimer's. But you also have, as well as the possibility to magnify the capability of a human being. There also are new vulnerabilities that kind of just like today, if somebody hacks our computer, it really disables us in a certain sort of way. And similarly, as we have these technologies emerge, if we can hack them, if we can manipulate them, there's new forms of invasion of privacy and new forms of manipulation that can really be detrimental. And how we think about that and how we deal with it, I think it's an important question to ask. And in some senses, that's one of the things that drives my book is that you're going to see again, there's going to be moments in that book where you're going to be like, wow, this future's amazing. There's going to be moments when you're going to say, wow, that's terrible. And because people will use it for all sorts of reasons. Imagine that if you got these brain-computer interfaces, that perhaps the future crystal meth is not actually a drug that you swallow, but it's a code that you download that can really give you experiences that you couldn't otherwise have,
Doctor?
But are addictive.
Can I interrupt you for just one second? I think this whole thing is fascinating, but also there was something that I saw on TV. It was called Futurist, and it talked about mind control helping technology for surgeries. Can we retain you just for a moment into, is that something that your interface could do? Is that something where doctors could perform surgery by thinking about it and working with tools?
Certainly that's a future application. Again, once you decode the brain, what machines do you want to control and how do you want to use them? So, for instance, could you create a virtual surgeon that's 1,000 miles away? Again, using the military example, instead of having the robo-soldier, you have the operative suite where basically it's being controlled by somebody virtually. So absolutely, that would be a natural extension of this type of technology.
Pretty incredible stuff.
You.
Dr. Eric Luthard, neurosurgeon, author of the futuristic thriller Red Devil 4. It's pretty much available everywhere, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all of the above. We appreciate you joining us on American Medicine Today.
Great. Well, thanks so much for having me.
All right. Take care. We
have Dr. Jill O'Donnell Tormey, who will be joining us in the next segment, who has a breakthrough of the year for cancer patients.
It's amazing.
It is. You're listening to News Radio 970, WFLA.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonati.com.
All my pain is gone. Gone. Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful. I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thanks for tuning in to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonati, Ethan Euchre, and Jeff Wagstaff. So, Ethan, why don't you explain the guests that we have on the phone?
Yeah, I found this very interesting. As someone who has cancer, who runs in his family, you always try to think of ways other than traditional chemotherapy and things like that you can possibly use to fight cancer. And I came across Dr. Jill O'Donnell Tormey from the Cancer Research Institute. She's actually was called by Science Magazine last year as a breakthrough of the year with this novel treatment called cancer immunotherapy. Why don't we get the doctor on to tell us all about it? Dr. Jill O'Donnell Tormey, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So tell us a bit about cancer immunotherapy.
Well, cancer immunotherapy is a breakthrough, I think, in cancer treatment. It's a new way to treat cancer that actually turns on our own immune system as a powerful weapon against cancer. In immunotherapies, there's a number of different types, but they essentially all work to restore the body's ability to defend itself against cancer, much in the same way that our immune system protects itself, ourselves against viruses and bacteria.
Well, because essentially that's what cancer is, right? I know we were talking to Dr. Bonati during the break about it, and that it's cancer is kind of a breakdown of the immune system in a sense, right?
Well, in one respect, I mean, cancer is really caused by genetic changes that lead to normal cells to become transformed and become malignant and take on the ability to continue to proliferate and to invade parts of the body where it's not supposed to be. There is certainly a system called immunosurveillance, which your immune system is constantly surveying your body for any foreign invaders, as I said, bacteria and viruses, but also for cancer cells that end up coming about because of mutations. And we now know that the immune system can recognize cancer and destroy it, and does this probably without us knowing it all the time, as we do develop cancers just because regular cells divide and mistakes get made and cancer cells arise, but the immune system gets rid of them. It's only when the cancer tends to outpace the immune system, or for some reason the immune system just hasn't done a good enough job, that we end up getting a diagnosis of cancer. So certainly the immune system has the ability to do this, but we find to get it to be a treatment, we have to work to get it to really rev up its basic innate ability to recognize and destroy cancers. And we've seen some major breakthroughs in the last few years that are telling us that I think cancer immunotherapies are going to become the backbone of treatment for most cancers probably within the next decade.
Doctor, I'm completely blown away by this research. How does it work?
Well, I mean, again, the immune system's a complicated system, but what as I think we all can recognize, the immune system's main role is to protect us from bad things. And so it has the ability to specifically track down things that are not supposed to be in your body, activate its cells and a number of cells and molecules that it produces to actually destroy these things that aren't supposed to be there. And then it has memory, so that if it comes back, it can jumpstart again and get rid of it right away. We all are familiar with this, with the fact that we get vaccinated for, in childhood for measles and mumps. Mm-hmm. And basically that means you get the immune system to recognize this as a foreign entity, and if you're ever exposed to the measles virus, you jumpstart and get rid of it and you don't get measles. So it's that same premise that the immune system can do the same thing for cancer. So we're just trying now to find out ways to activate the immune system, sustain that immune response, and also break down natural suppressive elements that the immune system has naturally and also that the cancer cell has to escape this immune pressure. And together we're finding ways that we can do this thanks to research and develop therapies that are actually for cancers that really had no hope are actually seeing major responses and long-term regressions and, dare I say, cures in some patients.
Doctor, your answer leads to my next question. Is a guy who went through personally a cancer scare. Once a patient is diagnosed, it's pretty devastating. And, your feet are knocked out from underneath you. Once you're diagnosed, how would you know if this type of therapy versus radiation or chemotherapy, how would you know which direction to go?
Well, again, I think this is a new therapy. Right now, it's only recently been approved by the FDA for metastatic melanoma and for prostate cancer. But there's an active area of research. There's over 1,000 clinical trials going on right now testing various different types of immunotherapies and combinations of those immunotherapies. So I think it really comes down to the patient needs to have this discussion with their doctor. Right now, this may not be a treatment for all cancers. I think in the future it's going to become. We're really at the tip of the iceberg in terms of, I think, what we know immunotherapies can do. So I think it's right now it's to inform patients that this is an option. It's something they should look into. It's something they should discuss with their their physician.
So cancer, listen, we got to have a talk.
This therapy is a possibility for you. And if you come to the Cancer Research Institute's website, which is cancerresearch.org, we actually have a clinical trial finder on there, which specifically you can look for immunotherapy clinical trials that a patient may be eligible for. But the bottom line is you need to have this discussion with your doctor because every cancer, every patient is different.
Does immunotherapy have side effects?
Well, there are some side effects. They're mild in terms of you may get some chills, fever. There may be swelling at the injection site, but it does not have the side effects that we typically associate with chemotherapies. There are some slightly, in certain cases, more severe side effects that are triggering. Basically, as you're revving up your immune system, you can sometimes develop autoimmune reactions, but these can usually be identified by physicians very early and treated. And we've talked to many patients undergoing immunotherapy treatments, and they really feel it's a walk in the park compared to what chemotherapy is.
Jill, let me ask you something. If this is so fantastic, why don't we try to put the patients not before they become a patient, just as a routine, like people using today vitamins or something like that? Why we cannot use that type of therapy to prevent the possibility to develop cancer in people? Is something that you feel is contraindicated, is too expensive, or is a problem with?
Well, I think you've kind of identified something that I think a long-time hope of all of us in the field would be that there would be preventative cancer immunotherapies, and I think that's a long-time hope, and it's a goal. We're not there yet. I think we're right now working just on using the immune system as a therapy once cancer is diagnosed. But I think with continued research in this area, we will be able to find ways to prevent it. Again, you probably are familiar with the cervical cancer vaccine, and that's a preventative vaccine that uses your immune system. A little bit different because cervical cancer is caused by a virus, so it's a vaccine that actually kills the virus, so that the virus cannot infect the cells. And if you don't get a viral infection, you don't get cervical cancer. So not all cancers are caused by viruses, but that's the case of using immunotherapies as a preventative treatment. And I think if continued research, we may get there. We're not there yet.
Okay, that's fantastic. But just a curiosity, what type of a not medication, what type of a usage, what type of a substance can be advised to the people to start to take? The same thing that somebody say, hey, take vitamin C if you have a cold. Something like that. Do you already are advanced enough to advise things like that, or is too early?
I think it's too early. Again, I think everyone wants to have a healthy immune system, and that's important to protect us from all kinds of diseases. And I think I think moderation and living well and eating well are all things that lead to a good immune system. Right now, these are actually active treatments that are given to patients, and they're not something that we could prescribe to a healthy person to protect them ahead of time. But again, I think it's a matter of time when we may get there.
Doctor, this might seem completely out of left field, but that's how my brain works. Is there any research being done using sharks? Because I remember reading a long time ago that sharks are one of the only creatures in nature that don't get cancer. Have you heard of that? And is there any research being done to find out why, and can it be used in human beings?
I have heard of that research. We are not at the Cancer Research Institute involved in that, so I'm not personally familiar with it, but I think there is some people that are researching that because I've heard the same stories you have, but I don't really have any information I could give you on
I'm just going to pull one out of the Gulf and ask him, how do you not get cancer, little shark?
Maybe that'll work.
Doctor, the immune system, I'm really fascinated by this. Are there applications for the immune system to help fight other diseases or other illnesses? I mean, we're in the broadcast industry, so we're in this petri dish of germs, people in our building. How can we better build our immune system besides, like you said earlier, eating right, rest, proper diet, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, that's a whole different science in terms of how keeping your normal immune system up. And it's as I said, I do think it's just moderation and living well. And right now, I don't think we have a specific cause and effect that I can tell you what to do. I think a lot of it is common sense. And again, our immune systems are working all the time. It's not just about cancer; it's protecting you. when you get exposed to viruses, if you get exposed to the flu, to colds, and so we all know that we have a functioning, well-functioning immune system, and of course, the whole story of AIDS and HIV tells us what happens when an immune system doesn't function. So it's important to keep yourself healthy, but at this point, I don't have any specific prescription to give you for that.
One last question, Doctor. How long, using your predictive skills from the Cancer Research Institute, how long before we have a cure for cancer?
Well, again, I was one of the type of person that usually never wanted to use the word cure, and I always thought of cancer could be turned into a chronic disease. And I still think that that's the case, and I think we're going to get there probably within the next decade. But because of the remarkable responses we have recently seen, seeing patients with metastatic melanoma getting treated with an immunotherapy and going into regressions, and it's almost 10 years later, and they are still healthy and without melanoma, I dare say that is a cure. So I think we're not seeing that in all types of cancers or in all patients with a given type of cancer, but I do think you're going to see getting closer and closer to that within the next decade.
Very interesting stuff. Dr. Jill O'Donnell Tormey from the Cancer Research Institute. Find out more, cancerresearch.org. Thanks for joining us this afternoon on American Medicine Today.
Thanks very much for having me.
Have a great day. Kimberly?
You too.
You are listening to American Medicine Today on News Radio 970 WFLA. If you want to actively participate in life, give the Bonati Spine Institute a call, 855-267-0482, or the website at bonati.com. After the break, we'll hear more from Dr. Bonati.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonati.com.
All my pain is gone, gone, gone. Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. You gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful. I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brummel.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Brummel, joined by world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonati, Ethan Euchre, and Jeff Wagstaff. Dr. Bonati is completely wound up, so let's toss it over to what's new in American Medicine Today.
Let's look at what's new in medicine today, featuring Alfred Bonati, MD.
Well, Kimberly, let me talk a little bit about a different of opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that to try to put all the doctors together is very difficult, but you need to start some way.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that to overrule the politicians and make them go to a type of a referendum where the Constitution can be changed and at the same time put term limits is also difficult. But you know something? That's why we are in this world, to do difficult things. The easy things are being done by somebody else. So these things of thinking that you cannot do it because that's why we are in a situation that we are.
Right now. Mm-hmm.
When you go ahead and you think that somebody is going to tell you that you cannot do a change on the referendum because it's too difficult, and you need to change the Constitution, and you need to get the politicians to do term limits. Oh, that is horrendously difficult. Well, that's why we are here. That's what America is, and that's why the Americans make that decision.
And that's what the Washington Democrats want. They want everyone to back away or think it's too difficult.
Exactly. Every politician count in that we don't have enough time, we don't care enough, and we are lazy bums that the only thing that we do is being carried through the slaughterhouse just only because we don't stand up to regulations or stupid behaviors very, very much created by the Democrats. Not only they have a problem in education, now they have a problem with healthcare. So what a type of a disaster this group creates in this country.
Speaking of education, though, Doctor, wasn't there something that Michelle Obama said about the children?
Oh, yeah. Now, guess what? She is going to indoctrinate the children as soon as possible. So they're going to create an incompetent type of a society that is going to be carried through the nose to do things that they want. What they want,
brainwash them
votes.
when they're young. Brainwash them when they're young, and you
Exactly.
ensure your voter base.
Yeah, but Americans are different. They are not like other people in the rest of the world. They are not lazy. They are not incompetent. They didn't come to this country because everybody come to this country in the beginning or today with one very clear concept. I want to be an American. Why? Because I want to be myself. That is why America has Americans. They want to be independent thinkers. They want the right things to be done for the country at the same thing that they want the right things to be done to their families. But the problem that we have right now is that we are being pushed against immoral behavior of the government. I cannot believe the lies, the unconstitutional lies that Obama gave to the country, and he never even apologized. There are 100 million people that are going to be without insurance. Didn't we say that we are going to try to help 30 million? I mean, this type of absurd behavior needs to stop. Because if you put the politicians in 4 years of performance, you're going to remove all these incompetent people, all these suckers that they are in the government right now, that they live like leeches from the system, and they create a type of a system that is not for the Americans, it's for themselves. So you need to remove these people out. These people need to be in a type of a program that you come over, serve the country for 4 years, and then after that, go home. And if you cannot go home, it's because you are so good that they are going to elect you for another 4 years. But you know what? After those 4 years, these people need to go home because the laws that they pass, they need to live with it.
And that falls with the saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
But the most important thing is when that happens, these people that they are going to go to help the government are going to be patriotic people. They're going to be well-educated, well-intentional, and they know they're not going to be, they will be professionals, that they don't need to be living by the help of the government, or they don't need to make the niche there like leeches creating laws in their own benefit. So this is what needs to stop. If we don't stop that, then we never will get America back to what America is. And the next thing that we need to do, the physicians, they stop to be cowards. They cannot stay in one position and say all the time, well, it's the law. And stop to be writing books and writing excuses why the government is doing this or that. Let's stop them. Let's create the insurance companies to be responsible, and let's get the government to be responsible. And let's serve our patients. That's what we are here for. We're not here to comply to governmental trash. Neither we're here to serve the insurance companies. We're here to serve our patients, and that's what we need to do.
And that's a look at what's new in medicine today with Alfred Bonatti, MD.
Well said, Dr. Bonatti. We are seeing the true American dream fall by the wayside. And now what we're seeing is an American dream, but it's the unemployed. Let's stay at home and live our dream. How do you do that when you're unemployed?
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, we might have to save this topic for another time, but I'm going to bring it up briefly. I have been, I jotted down a note as Dr. Bonatti was talking about American exceptionalism, and the rest of the world gives us a ton of crap for thinking, they make fun of us because we say we're Americans, and not that we're better than everybody else, but we're just exceptional people. We're a great country. I can see it in your eyes. You want to get going.
We are better, period.
We're almost out of time, but, it's definitely something I want to pick Dr. Bonatti's brain on. This is the American exceptionalism. So about 30 seconds left. If people want to get in touch, Kimberly, how do they do so?
They can reach out to the Bonatti Spine Institute at 855-267-0482 or visit Bonatti.com. Keep in mind, we have the American Medicine Today TV show. It is seen at 7 p.m. on ABC 28 on WFTS. And we're on weekly every Saturday, noon to 1 on News Radio 970 WFLA. We look forward to speaking to you next week. We'll have more on what's new in American medicine today.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
The Bonatti Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at Bonatti.com.
All my pain is gone, gone, gone. Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing, no after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. You gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful. I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.